Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's been a little while since my last video, so I will catch you up on what's been happening, and also you might be able to see in the background there's some fabric purchases to share as well as some works in progress. But first of all, I am wearing a me-made toaster sweater. This is actually the third toaster sweater I've made, so that's the Soha 7 pattern. I really love the fact that it fits perfectly. It's so warm, sleeves all the way down to the wrists and a nice warm neck and everything, so that is really great for winter. This one is made in a wool from a sample sale from a local shop or a local designer called Morgan Marks. So this is a pure wool jumper. It's really lovely and warm. So I've made one before, which is my pom-pom toaster sweater, and I also made one for my mum recently for Mother's Day, which she also loves for the same reason, nice warm collar, because we both get a bit chilly in winter. So I haven't vlogged for a little while, probably not since about May. I had a couple of vlogs recorded that unfortunately were lost in a corrupted iTunes backup. So that's a lesson to me, to not leave them on my phone too long. I find it sometimes a bit hard to watch myself and edit. It's probably the bit that takes the longest when I'm making a vlog, so I might have to get over that. So I had a couple of vlogs that went missing, and then we also had a 6-week trip, which is a little bit of a around the world trip, and you can see I'll be showing you a couple of my fabrics that I bought in different places on that holiday, so that's pretty cool. But obviously as we were traveling, didn't really get a lot of time for vlogging or sewing either. And I've actually finished up at my job of 15 years. So I'm hoping I might get a bit more time to sew while I'm looking for the next thing. But actually I only have my toddler in daycare 2 days a week now, so I might actually have even less time to sew. So my key focus at the moment is actually finishing some of my works in progress. I have 2 to show you. One of them is a bit of a hot mess, and I'm not sure if it's salvageable, but one of them is really close to being finished, so I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get that done for the next video. So one of them is a seam work pattern. So my husband got me a seam work subscription for Christmas, and this is the seam work, I want to say Erica, which is a wrap dress. Now, why this is such a hot mess, it's actually like I made a rose velvet for winter. So this is the skirt bit, and then this is the top bit. Now the top bit, it's tiny. It doesn't, I mean, I could wear it, but it's teeny tiny, and the bottom bit is quite big, so they don't go together. Like I just sewed them together and they didn't go together in the slightest. And I don't know how I managed to do that either, because obviously I've gone off the pattern measurements and that's what I've cut and that's what I've sewn, and it hasn't worked out for me. So I'm not sure if anybody else has made that seam work wrap dress and has any tips. It's a bit unusual. I've made a couple of wrap dresses before, and this has got elastic all the way around the front wrap. So in this bit here of the collar, it's got elastic right at the front. So I guess that might make it a little bit tighter, but it is quite small, it's quite snug up the top, so I'd be curious to see if anybody else has had that issue with that wrap dress. I'm going to try and finish it. This was my first time using a twin needle. I don't know if you can see that actually. And it worked out really well. I was really happy with it. But so I'd be keen to finish it, but I'm just not sure. I think it's going to be a little bit low cut if I do finish it, and maybe if I wanted to make it again, I'd have to go back and recut another size, so we shall see. The other work in progress that I have, I am loving. It's not yet finished, but it's so close. So this is, you might remember me opening this fabric. This is a Blackbird Fabrics rayon, and I just love the colours. I totally love colours, so that's probably obvious. But this is the Megan Nielsen Darling Rangers dress. Everything I've sewn of Megan Nielsen's has fit me directly without any alterations, and this has been no different so far. All I need to do for this now is buttons and hem, which I'm a little bit scared to do the buttons because I haven't done buttons since I was a teenager, and certainly not using this machine, so I'm going to have to try and work out my buttonholing foot and buttonholing function pretty soon, because I really love this dress and I want to finish it and I want to wear it. And I've put myself on a fabric buying ban until I've actually finished a garment, because as you can see, I have bought a lot of fabric, which I'll show you in a second, and I really need to start sewing it up. So really excited to have this finished really soon. So hopefully next time I film a video, I will be showing you loads of me-mades, finished me-mades, maybe some more toaster sweaters if the weather keeps on the way it is, but I'd like to share with you now my fabric haul over the last few months. So this is really June, July and August, so it's quite a bit, I suppose, a few months. And I've bought one, this whole year I think I've only bought one ready to wear item, so I've bought fabric but no clothes, if that makes it any better. Maybe not. So to start with, I have fabric from kind of all over the place. I went on a work trip to Sydney in June and I went to the fabric store there. So I will show you what I bought at the fabric store. So this is really naughty because obviously it's still wrapped up. This was from their remnants bin, and that you can see is some rayon crepe. That's 0.9 meters, so either that's going to be a top or I'm going to say, why did I buy this and not know what to do with it? But I really do like, I was obviously attracted to the color and I really like the pattern as well. I also bought this, also I haven't done anything with. This is a bit bigger, so 1.7 meters remnant. And I think this could be some really cool, there could be some really cool fitted structured dress for this. It does say on it's a cotton nylon, and as you can see, it's a lacy fabric, quite a thick structured lace. So I think that could be pretty cool. I just need to wash these up and see what happens with them. But obviously haven't managed to do that yet. This also from the fabric store, I totally love this. I completely always fall in love with these beautiful colors, and this is a crepe again. You can see that it's like navy, pink, orange, 2 pinks and a white, and I just love that. There's 2 meters of that, so I've got to try and work out something to do with that. I keep thinking as well that I should start sewing some workwear because I do make all these lovely summer dresses. So if anyone has good workwear patterns, and particularly something with a sort of, I do love a flowy dress. I don't know if those two things really combine, but I do work in an office, and my last job had less of a structured dress code, so it was a bit easier to wear those kinds of things anyway. So maybe I need to be a bit more flexible on or change my fabric purchasing habits maybe. Also in Sydney, I bought this. This was just super cheap. I just bought the end of the roll, so 2.2 meters for $10. And initially I was kind of like, oh, I could use that for toiles. It's a polyester, but I do love it. I think I love the colors. I'm a sucker for a bright color or a flowy fabric. Love it. So that was all my Sydney purchases. This one came from I think it was from the Remnant warehouse. So I stopped on the way from the airport into town and picked that up. I just wanted to have a look really. I had a few opportunities while I was there for work, like as I said, on the way from the airport, and then I had a lunchtime and things like that. So I got the opportunity to have a poke around some of the fabric shops. And yeah, that was pretty fun. So that's from Sydney. I bought something before I left as well, before I went on my trip, and this was really just basically because I fell in love with this and had to have it. I do have a bit of an idea of what I want to make with this. This is from Fabulous Fabrics in Perth, and this is just lovely. So this is a cotton sateen, which I don't often sew with, but I had the idea of making, it's another seam work dress. I'm not going to remember the name. I'm going to have to put that down in the sort of notes below. They call it a Dolce & Gabbana fabric. I'm not sure if that means it actually comes from Dolce & Gabbana or it looks like a Dolce & Gabbana fabric. But I totally love this. I love the colour purple. I love white in a summer dress. There's a really fitted dress that I wanted to try and make with this. So hopefully that will work out. Haven't done anything with it yet, but obviously I've been away as well, so I've got that, that's my excuse. Right, so the other fabrics, I think all of them, except maybe one, are from our trip. So on our trip we went to the UK, France and the US. We also went to Belize at the end, but there was no fabric shopping to be done there. Most of the time, obviously, I was traveling with my family, so there wasn't, again, lots of fabric shopping to be done. I was traveling with 2 kids and a husband. And we were also, to be honest, doing a lot of road tripping, so we would often kind of get up, go in the morning to, you know, have a coffee or whatever, and then leave to get to the next town. So there wasn't like loads and loads of time hanging out in cities. But there were a couple of places that we were for a bit longer. So one of them was London. Now we went to Liberty. I went to Liberty. Basically, I took everyone with me. That was the only fabric shopping that we did, but I knew that they had a sale on at the time. I took a little bit of a video that I put in my Instagram stories that I'll see if I can maybe put in here. Some children screaming in the background, which is par for the course for my holidays. And I bought something because I just had to buy something, but I'm actually not sure whether I've bought something that I'm going to use. So still in the Liberty bag because well, it's such a special kind of little visit. But I bought this. This is a cotton lawn, also a remnant, and only 14 pounds, a Liberty Tana lawn. So that is a metre as well. So I don't know why, I think this is really beautiful. There were so many beautiful things, like so many beautiful silks and things, but they were just a bit more expensive. Plus also with the screaming toddlers, it's really hard to concentrate on what you want to buy, what you're going to make with it, what you're going to spend, etc. So, and also at the beginning of your trip, how much space have you got in your suitcase to carry all this stuff around the world with you? So yeah, I won't complain. I went on a round the world trip. I got a Liberty remnant and I'm just looking for ideas now on what to do with it. So the next stop was Paris. I got one nap time when my 2-year-old was napping to have a look at a fabric shop which was just around the corner from our apartment that we were staying at. So it was Maison Cousu. So it was really cool. They also had a sale. It's summer, so they had it was summer, they had summer sales. So I got this stretch fabric, which I think I'd like to make it, well, I bought to make a t-shirt. It's actually quite structured knit. If anyone's got any good structured knit t-shirt patterns, let me know, because I'd be keen to, I really want to make this up. I think it's really cool. It's almost neutral-ish, but then it's got the fluoro in it as well. And then I bought this as well. This is just really cool. This is also a crepe, but this is a poly crepe. I've actually seen somebody on the Maison Cousu Instagram page that's made this up into something, and it looks really cool. I thought, you know, our summer's coming up, so I can make something with that. That's probably not a work fabric. So that was in Paris. So I got to really quick run out to the fabric shop while the baby was napping type situation. So we spent a couple of weeks in France, and then we went to the US, and we spent 3 weeks driving up the west coast of the US. And I got, I'm pretty sure, just one fabric shopping opportunity, and that was because it was my birthday, and that was in San Francisco. So we went to Britex Fabrics in San Francisco, and my husband said, buy yourself some fabric for your birthday. So I chose this. Now I have to say that Britex also had the most beautiful ground floor of silks, like stunning silks, but given that I have got a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, and they're not the neatest people in the world, I decided to go up to the second level, which has got the non-silk, like the polys and things like that. And I got this fabric. I may have been slightly, colour-wise, I might have chosen something which is kind of like thematic, you know, red, white and blue, because I was in the US. And also my birthday is Bastille Day, so also red, white and blue for France. So this is a lovely navy, also a crepe, but a poly crepe, with some, you know, some cool blue flowers on it. My 5-year-old helped me choose this one. I like this. I think this is probably going to end up being a Megan Nielsen River dress. Just a really simple shift with a tie belt, and I think that could be a really cool, nice, relaxed weekend wear. So I love that. That was my US shopping. And then the last thing I did was I came home and put myself on a fabric ban, and then I saw again that the local designer Morrison was having a sample and fabric sale, so I quickly took myself off said fabric ban, went down and got this. So this is my last fabric to show you, and this is my last purchase until I actually complete some garments, okay? Gonna have to get you guys to hold me to that. So this fabric, again, I totally love. This is silk. I have seen this at their sample sales before, but I didn't want to get it because it's a little bit sheer, but then I decided to change my mind and get it anyway this time. But you can see, because you can see me through it. So I've got to either try and get something which has got a lot of gathers, so it's less sheer, or make a lining basically. But it's hot pink and navy. Who could go past this? So certainly not since I've seen it there before and it's calling my name. And that would be it. Okay, so those are all the fabrics that I purchased. It's a little bit naughty, but it is 3 months worth, but it's only okay if I actually use it. So that's why no more fabric shopping. I've allowed myself to buy patterns and to download seam work patterns because otherwise how am I going to sew it all up? But no more fabric ban until I have actually sewn it up. So thank you so much for watching and listening. Any ideas on what I can do with any of those fabrics, please let me know in the comments below. Hope to have some makes to share with you soon, as I said. You can keep up with my progress on Instagram at FrockingLulu if you haven't already followed me there. And yeah, I look forward to hearing any comments, any feedback, because I love getting ideas from you guys on what I can make with my fabric hauls. And other than that, I hope the weather is nicer where you are than it is here because it's freezing, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.